This video is sponsored by Babbel. Alright, so we got the full summary for the chapter 1081 spoilers, and we're going over so much more than what we did yesterday. Like, so much more hype stuff is happening in this chapter. So let's just get right into it. Chapter starts where the last one ended. Kuzan appears and freezes Hibari. Kobe runs to help her. Then Kuzan goes to face Garp. The other Blackbeard pirates are not with him. Alright, so before we go further, let me just go over what had happened because it says it starts where the last one ended. So Sword showed up to Hachinosu trying to save Kobe, who was taken prisoner by the Blackbeard pirates, and we saw Hibari there firing off this sniper rifle that Vegapunk gave her that was able to turn the bullets of the Blackbeard pirates into like flowers. So it's understandable that Kuzan's gonna come out and freeze her so he could free up the cover fire and whatnot. But Garp also showed up and dropped a galaxy blow on Hachinosu, and I guess right after that, that's when Kuzan is appearing, who we didn't know was currently on Hachinosu because we didn't see him. We only saw him in that flashback when Blackbeard was talking to Kobe. But he's here and he's facing off against his former teacher, Garp. And Kuzan says, will you be able to kill your former #1 apprentice to save your current one? I like how you always have done whatever you liked. Now I'm doing the same. That's why I'm following Teach. And Garp says, I thought I taught you to live in the present. A flashback about Teach and Kuzan starts. It took place in a certain island 1 year after Kuzan versus Aki Inu battle in Punk Hazard. Part of the Blackbeard pirates arrive in the island and they see some of their Nakamas frozen. San Juan Wolf, Vasco Shot, and Doc Q. Blackbeard pirates enter a bar and see Kuzan. Then they drink and get along. Lafitte whispers Teach to kill Kuzan and take his power for the crew. Kuzan hears it and gets angry, ready to fight against them. But Teach apologizes for Lafitte's words and offers Kuzan to join him instead. Teach asks Kuzan about the man with the burned scar, because it seems that the man has the remaining road poneglyph. It is said that the man with the burned scar rides on a black ship, and he can create whirlpools to sink his enemies in the sea. We see the silhouette of a ship while both talk about him. So this is wild. We did not know this at all. More lore to the man with the burn mark, aka Saul, Jaguar D Saul, at least in my opinion, or I guess it's like the super popular opinion at this point, right? But creating whirlpools, that means that Saul either had this devil fruit or he got it after he left Ohara. And this is one of the most significant devil fruits we've ever heard of, because I think this is the first one we've seen that can manipulate water. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe we've seen another person. I'm sure there's like some person in like a movie or a play or some game or something that can manipulate water in a similar fashion, but canonically, straight up manga continuity, I don't know if we've seen this yet. And I thought a power like this was going to be reserved for Imu, you know, like the shadow leader of the Gorosei. I'm pretty sure that her devil fruit ability controls water. But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Babbel. Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the world. Its intuitive lessons help you learn a language through real-life conversations. So guys, I'm so happy that Babbel came into my life because I've been meaning to learn Spanish for a long time now, simply to communicate with some of my loved ones who speak Spanish and I don't. And what's been holding me back is procrastination. But Babbel takes that out of the equation for me because it's a fun, intuitive app that I can use for about 30 minutes a day, every other day. And Babbel also makes me feel confident that I'm not wasting my time because it's scientifically proven to help you start speaking a new language in 3 weeks. And it teaches real-world conversation. The lessons prepare you to have practical conversations about travel, business, relationships, and more. I mean, already I've learned some useful phrases such as "Me llamo Zhoniin," "Gracias," "Donde está el baño?" "Me trae la cuenta?" So guys, check out the link in the description because not only will you get Babbel there, but you'll also get 60% off of your subscription. That is an incredible deal, guys. And also, let me know in the comments what language you'd like to learn and why. Thanks. But back to the conversation, and Shiryu says maybe that man with the burned scar works for the world government. It won't be a surprise if the world government keeps one road poneglyph with them to prevent pirates from reaching the One Piece. Kuzan denies knowing anything about that man, and he says, maybe I'm that man. Seriously, my only memories about the poneglyph are at Ohara. If I had seen a red stone there, I'd have remembered it. So I think that right there proves that Kuzan is in Sword or isn't truly aligned with Blackbeard, because he does know who the man with the burned scar is, or at least in my opinion that because like I said, it's Jaguar D Saul, and Kuzan was directly responsible for allowing Saul to live. He thought that he had killed him like by freezing him, but apparently that wasn't the case because he escaped Ohara. Now, of course, there is a chance that Saul just organically was able to survive, but considering that Kuzan let Robin live and leave, you know, why didn't he just do it for Saul as well? So yeah, he does know for sure. And yeah, Kuzan's a good guy. You know, he's just doing some undercover work here. But the real question is if Garp knows. I'd like to think that Garp knows what's going on here and they're kind of just fighting to keep up appearances, but I could be wrong. Maybe Garp doesn't know that Kuzan is this deep undercover. Maybe only Akainu himself knows. Because that goes back into the theory I've been talking about for like 2 years now. It's that I think that when Kuzan and Akainu fought on Punk Hazard, they made stipulations beforehand. It was like winner becomes fleet admiral, but then loser goes undercover and infiltrates a Yonko crew. I mean, is it just a coincidence that Kuzan was just attacking the Blackbeard pirates? Because from reading this, it seems like he found them, not they found him. The flashback ends and Garp versus Kuzan continues. Kuzan uses his attack Ice Ball on Garp like he did with Whitebeard and Marineford, but Garp breaks the ice easily. Then Garp grabs Kuzan's head and uses a new attack. And he says, "Those who hesitate are weak. Blue hole, fall to sea floor." Garp smashes Kuzan's body and splits the ground with his fist. Kuzan's entire body falls into the ground. So that's crazy. I mean, we knew that Garp was capable of this. In my opinion, at one point in history, he was pretty much the one above all in the One Piece verse, aside from Imu. So even at the age of 78, I'm not surprised that he is just bodying Kuzan. But of course, this will not be the end of the fight. I'm sure Kuzan's gonna get up and who knows what's gonna happen after that, but there is a chance that Kuzan might tragically kill Garp instead of Blackbeard, as I speculated about before. Cut to Winter Island. Law has been defeated. Teach is panting with blood on his face, and he's deciding what he should do now. He says, "Zah! What should I do with his power? Should I use it? Or maybe I should sell his power." So I wonder if Blackbeard is kind of just saying this for the audience, because I assume that he has a plan for everything. And I already talked about it in my first video, but you already know my theory on Teach possibly using Law's Devil Fruit, the Opiopo no Mi, to perform its ultimate ability, the Perpetual Youth Surgery, so that Blackbeard can become immortal. Of course, that's not being talked about or even hinted at here, but I do think it's going to happen. And as for selling it, that's also an interesting thing, because we know that in the flashback with Cortisone and Law, it was worth like 5 billion berries at some point, which is like Roger and Whitebeard level bounties. So maybe Blackbeard might just sell this or trade it for him joining the world government and having Hachinosu being an independent nation. Beppo sees what's happening with his captain, and Beppo then takes a special medicine that Chopper gave him. This medicine lets Beppo turn to Sulong form. Beppo looks awesome in Sulong form. He's like a huge polar bear. We can see Beppo Sulong in one full page panel. So this is really cool. It looks like Beppo has his own like Rumble Ball kind of, and he's going Sulong, which is like totally necessary. Beppo attacks Teach before he can steal Law's power. Then Beppo takes Law into the sea. In a huge spread, we can see that Polar Tang has been destroyed and the rest of the Heart Pirates are in the sea or lying on the ground. The narrator says at Winter Island in the New World, Pirate Trafalgar Law and his Heart Pirates have been defeated. So does this mean that Law is gonna make it out of here? Because Beppo takes him in the sea, but then maybe he's finding out after the fact that the Polar Tang is destroyed and he's kind of like stranded. I mean, there's not really much Beppo could do at that point, unless Beppo in his Sulong is just so powerful that he could just swim like a boat. But it's like, I don't think the Blackbeard Pirates are just gonna let him do that. And if Law does just escape here with his Devil Fruit, then it's like, what was the point of this? Other than him just being defeated so that Blackbeard can get his Poneglyph rubbing, but man, it just kind of lowers the stakes, kind of, if Law just gets away with just being plundered. But I don't want to jump the gun. I haven't been able to see the panels, but let me know what you think about this in the comments. And if you like the video, guys, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.